welcome to another video. Today, you guys, we're back in my finished artwork sketchbook. I think I told you last week about how I threw away that drawing, and I was like, fuck, and I had to rip it off, and it was pissing me off. Well, this is the page that it was supposed to go on, and I just covered it with more sticker paper, and you see the part of the top is a little bit yellow. It's because that's also a sticker that was going to go over it, and it was going to go with the other page that was yellow. But I decided that I was just going to cover it sticker paper and just go ahead and draw something else on top of it, you guys. That's what we're doing today. We're just drawing a quick portrait of Kira. I've been in like a little bit of a vampire mood lately. Since last week, I drew Kamau and Cricket. Well, Kamau was a vampire and Cricket was a vampire hunter last week. And so I've been still kind of thinking about vampires a little bit. So I was like, what if I drew Kira as a vampire? I was thinking about it. I was like, if I was going to put Nick and Kira in a vampire AU, who would be the vampire and who would be the vampire hunter? Honestly and truly, I feel like if Kira was a vampire hunter and she ran into Nick, who was a vampire, that fucker would not live past the night. So I was like, it'd make more sense if Kira was a vampire, because she's already like a super powerful type person, like she's really strong, and if Nick was the vampire hunter, because if it was the other way around, that Nick would not survive an encounter with Kira. So yeah, so I'm drawing Kira as a little bit of a vampire here, you guys. I actually sketched this out digitally previously, and I didn't really like the way that the digital sketch was coming out. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna sketch it again. Traditionally, typically I like my traditional sketches better than I do my digital work. But especially for Kira, I don't know what it is, but I feel like when I draw her digitally, she looks off for some reason, and I don't know why. Well, even though you guys can't see it, I do have the digital sketch on the side when I'm sketching this one out, just as like reference. So yeah, it's probably why like the sketching part of this went by so quickly. It didn't really take me too long. It took me like 15-16 minutes to sketch this. I sped up the video, you guys know that. But yeah, it didn't take me super long to sketch this out. The only thing that took a little bit of time was really the hand. Originally when I did the sketch digitally, I wanted her to be doing that like anime villain laugh, like the girl one. I'm gonna try to do it for you guys. My nose is a little bit stuffy. It goes ha ha ha. That sort of kind of villain laugh, where if you guys watch anime, they like put their hand next to their face and like tilt their head up, and they're like looking down on you. It's like a really haughty like sort of laugh. And so I wanted her to be doing that sort of pose. But I've never drawn that pose before, and I struggled to draw hands. You guys know every artist struggles to draw hands. So I had to look up a reference because I thought I was doing it correct. I actually have to erase the hand like 2 or 3 times. I cut that out because when I erase it, like really makes like the paper, like the camera shake a lot, and I didn't want you guys to see that. So, but I did try to draw the hand a couple times, and I was like, this is not fucking working. So I had to look up a reference, and eventually I found a reference, and I was like, okay, this looks good. It's like at the angle that I want it to be at. And so I'm not entirely sure if I 100% love the hand that I ended up with, but it's way better than the first hand I did, and it's way better than the digital version of the hand that I did without a reference, which is why reference is very important, you guys. If you're struggling, find a reference. Honestly, you guys, this drawing probably would have got done faster. At the end, I was just sort of kind of fiddling with it for like no reason, just because I'm like, did I work on this for long enough? Because I was sketching it out, and I'm like, I feel like this is going by really fast, which is not a bad thing, but I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I pressure myself into finishing things quickly, but I wasn't really doing that. I already had something to look at. Like, I already knew what I wanted it to look like. I just wanted to tweak it a little bit from the digital version, so of course it wouldn't take that long. The digital version probably took a little bit longer because it was all coming off the top of my head. But this one, like I said, didn't take very long. I just feel kind of bad, though, because the way that I draw Kira's hair, it covers her ears, and I give her some cute little vampire-inspired ears, like they're a little bit spiky, but you can't see them because eventually I'm going to have to erase them because that's where her hair goes. But I drew her hair a little bit sharper with more angles. Usually it's a little bit more flowy. I decided to do a little bit more of harsh angles just to, like, push that sort of, like, I don't know, vampire spikiness, I guess. I don't think that vampires are particularly spiky, but I do enjoy shape language for things, and I feel like sharp angles look a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more threatening, and she is supposed to be a vampire, and I feel like vampires are pretty threatening, and she did just get finished drinking someone's blood, I guess, because she has blood on her mouth, but maybe I'll take that away. I'm not sure. I know I was doing it digitally, and I finished the sketch, and I was like, I guess I'll go ahead and color it now. And what I wanted to do for the coloring was, like, I wanted the background to be dark, and her to be, like, illuminated from the back by, like, the moon, and so all of her face was going to pretty much just be in, like, shadow, and then I was doing that, and I was like, I don't know how to do this, this is really hard, and so I gave up, and that's why I switched over to, like, the traditional, because I feel like if I do that traditionally, it's a bit easier for me to figure it out. I feel like when I do sort of stuff digitally and like I'm trying to learn, I struggle a little bit more just because I don't know the tools and shit. I feel like if I did know the tools, it probably would be easier to do it digitally. But I'm hard headed, so I struggle learning new things. Oh, also, you guys, remember how last week when I was doing my sketchbook tour, I talked about the Kuratoga pencil that I used to use to like sketch with, and I don't use it anymore because now I use my drafting pencil. I could not find my drafting pencil, so today I'm using that Kuratoga. It's been a while since I've used it. I remember why I didn't like it. It's very light in comparison to my drafting pencil. I mean, obviously the drafting pencil's not like super heavy, but it's pretty heavy in comparison because my drafting pencil is like all metal and the Kuratoga is like all plastic, so it's very hollow feeling. It did feel very different. It was like a very different drawing experience just going back to that other pencil. But also I noticed that when I was drawing with it, the lead was getting weirdly sharp. Like, just, you know, like when you use a pencil and you just like slide it on just like one side so that way you get it at like an angle. It was doing that. I feel like normally my pencil does not do that anymore. I don't know why not. Probably because I don't dispense the lead quite as far. And it's got like, I don't know, it just feels different. I feel like my lead doesn't normally do that anymore. I didn't even notice it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't sketch in pencil as much anymore, but I'm like, no, I don't think that's it. Because even when I'm sketching with my normal drafting pencil, it doesn't do that. Maybe that's like a feature of drafting pencils that I didn't know about. But it was honestly sort of kind of bothering me. I used to like that sort of thing because then you could like flip it around and get like a really sharp points. But I was like, I don't like this for some reason. So that's weird. I used to like that sort of thing. Maybe I just changed as a person. I mean, it has been a long time since I used this pencil. But yeah. Like I said, at this point in the sketch, I'm like sort of just kind of like fiddling with it. Honestly, it could have just been called done here. But yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to color this one this week. I have some other videos planned for this week. But maybe I'll color it next week because I wanted to have a dark background because I have to color up that like yellow at the top. I can't have anything other than a dark background, and I just have to figure out how I want the lighting to go. I want it to be like a very lighting sort of focused drawing just because it is like a simple portrait. I feel like it needs like an extra point of interest to make it like interesting. I don't know, so I feel like some people are like okay with looking at portraits. I am okay with looking at just different portraits and drawings of people. I don't really mind that sort of thing, but I feel like other people probably do, and I feel like I gotta do something a little bit more interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video here, you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I will go ahead and see you in the next one. Bye.